Hey CA, so good to be with you today. I'm excited to share with you something that encouraged me from Judges chapter 7. It's the story of God delivering Israel from the Midianites through the judge Gideon. I used to think that Gideon was this exemplar of courage and bravery. I mean, God used him to deliver Israel from this massive army, right? Well, when I reread this passage, I noticed something. Chapter 6, verse 13, verse 15, verse 17, verse 27, verse 36, verse 39, chapter 7, verse 12. Oh, all examples of Gideon being terrified, being like, really, God? Are you really going to do this? And totally being afraid. And yet, God still uses him to do something amazing. And I want to encourage you today that God can use you. He can use me, imperfect people with imperfect faith, to do great things as we ultimately say yes to God. Because that's something we can commend about Gideon, is that ultimately he decided to obey God. CA, Gideon's feelings and fears, they fluctuated. They went up and down, but he decided ultimately to obey. And I want to encourage you today that your faith is less about your feelings feeling up and down and ready to obey, and it's more ultimately, despite your feelings, deciding to trust a person named Jesus and walk in obedience to him. Faith isn't about psyching ourselves up or getting ourselves to believe something more firmly. It's ultimately about stepping out in obedience to God, in alignment with his word, trusting a person. And so I just want to encourage you today for a moment to consider, God, have I been waiting for my feelings to feel motivated to follow you, to obey you? If so, let's repent of that and say, Jesus, help me to, despite what I feel, whether I feel at a 10 or I feel at a 1, to rely on you and take a step of obedience. Just give my yes to you. Help me to do that, Lord. And as we do that, let's watch the God who does the impossible, do what only he can do, which is the impossible. See, God works through imperfect people with imperfect faith as they just humbly give their yes to him. Let's be that people together. Just keep giving our next yes to Jesus, trusting him, a person who loves us more than we can imagine. Let's do it. Hope you're encouraged today. Love you. God bless you.